Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to an episode of my F1 2020 Managed Career Mode here with McLaren for season number 2 this is. So technically the 2021 season is upon us. In the last episode we had the pre-season episode where we built this year's car, and it's looking okay. It's not exactly where we wanted to be. We're still P4 in terms of the fastest car there, but we've got a lot of potential. This time our car starts off with an amazing engine and hopefully has great potential to grow these other parts of the car. So we're going to go ahead and straight away design a brand new part. I would say let's go for the acceleration because that's our weakest part of the car, it would seem. 8th place there, so I think it makes sense to build that part of the car straight away. Just get through with an iteration there. 964 will be the best one. That'll get done 6 days before the Grand Prix, I think. And finally, if we look at this, gearbox 964 will be the best part we have. So unlike last season where anytime we made parts apart from the engine, there was no real improvement. Like we had to do either like 3-4 iterations, or simply put, for the way that we did, you know, to make the mod basically with 2020, with the kind of bod jobbing we had to do for the 2019 fantasy mod, we basically just couldn't really improve any of our parts, whereas this season we can, so we can really delve into that. But in terms of reliability, going to work on the engine side of things. We'll work on the gearbox and work on the suspension. I think brakes and the wings, if they did fail a little bit in the race, we could probably it would be easier time to change those out, so that's why we'll go with those. And in terms of performance, I'll add the 2 engines on. What else is our car a little bit weak at? Brakes, it would seem like, yeah, and then acceleration as well. So we're going to add on the 2 brakes, and then I may as well add the gearbox, even though one of these will be obsolete by the time we make this brand new gearbox. We're going to move through then, but we're already improving the car then as we go on towards the Australian Grand Prix, and the gearbox is going to be made straight away. But we've got an email about the forecasting centre. Could be, if we could make some improvements, we could get a better idea of the weather. True, we've got 64 million as well, so I wouldn't be opposed to that, so let's go for that. We've already obviously got these 2 on the build, so I may as well just go ahead and do those kind of upgrades to the buildings we have. So where are we looking at? Forecasting center, 7 million, not too bad. Let's go ahead and spend that money. 7 million still leaves us 57. I'm happy with that. What else could we potentially make? Road car factory, 65 million, not worth it right now in my opinion. Everything else though, factory level, we're already on level 3 to be honest, so I think we're at a good level for those factories. It's really just anything else really that we could upgrade. Staff center, maybe 7.5 million. It would improve driver rate and staff improvements potentially. I would say maybe it may be worth it. I mean, we're not going to blow through 57 million too quickly, are we? I don't think so. I think we'll go for it. 7 million here, so upgrade the staff center, so that'll be 50 million still left over. That's plenty for us to play around with, and I'll stick with that. So gearbox being made, we're going to go ahead and design another new gearbox then. So 25 to max, and then we'll go with 15 to max. It'll add on 2 days build time, so I'll take 3 days off the Grand Prix, which is unfortunate, but that will be the best one we can make basically till now. So we'll go with that 1.2 million. So that's fine. We'll come back to this though, and we will remove 901 over here and add that on over there to reliability as well. Remove that, add that on. So that'll be the best gearbox we've already got. But you can see there, 964, massive ceiling compared to 910 and 909 there. We go to the inbox. What else we got? Report on Sydney, 40% chance of rain. So there could be some weather to be a bit of a mixer in. But obviously that is now the last thing we've got left in terms of parts to do. But we've got now a dilemma, a disaster. We've got a leak here, and we caught Andrea Stella trying to leak information. Which one is that? Remind me. That is Sainz's mechanic. That is a bit of a worry because I don't really want to fire him, to be honest. But we've got a fine, which would be -25, -25 on chairman happiness. A transaction. I think we'll go with that. Surely the mechanic relationship shouldn't go too badly, so a fine will suffice. I can't believe this idiot was leaking all season. In terms of the chairman happiness, how are we looking in terms of where player? Chairman happiness is still fine. In terms of the staff, mechanic relationship, I can't tell that from here, can I? Is it drivers? Can I tell with drivers mechanic relationship? I mean, it looks okay. Let's just move forward then. Yeah, so we dealt with that dilemma. And we move now forward to the Australian Grand Prix. So we've got some heavy rain forecast for qualifying and rain in the race. So that 40% chance of rain will maybe come into play, basically. That's indicating. Mediums hardware, so I'll take in plenty of ultras. I'll take in 2 sets of super softs and then 6 mediums. That should be a nice overall decent amount, especially if it's going to be raining, then that'll definitely be a decent amount. Right, fit parts. This is going to be good, because pretty much the car will be equal. Brakes are equal. The engine is not. Sainz can have the better engine. Front wing's equal. Gearbox-wise, Norris can have that gearbox, and Sainz can have that since he's got the better engine. Rear wing's the same, and the suspension is not, but Carlos Sainz has that one. So Sainz has a slightly better car, but Norris, you can see there, in terms of, apart from the engine, you can see, everything else is pretty level there, and hopefully, obviously, we'll build a new engine eventually to get them equalised. So eventually, later on in the season, these two should have the kind of same sort of car to kind of both do hopefully quite well. Obviously, I'm looking for Norris to do a little bit better than he did last season. Obviously, we did give Sainz the better car most of the time at the end of last season, but that was because when we did kind of equal the parts out, Sainz was doing a better job basically overall. But let's get into this then. The first race of this brand new Season 2 with this new car. Obviously, we're still not quite there yet, but we do have a stronger car, I think, going into Australia than we did this time last season at Australia. So hoping for a better result maybe. And I remember we had a pretty decent race anyway there. So hopefully just hopefully have both drivers doing well, because I think Lando Norris had an issue, did he not, last season in Australia? Or one of them did. Hopefully this time no issues for either. Right, here we go in practice. I've got to say, even though you can't really see it properly, I'm liking this new livery we've got. It looks smart and tidy. The black on orange, kind of lack of blue actually makes it a bit smarter with the black there, so I'm liking it. Right, so into practice, race trim. We'll go on the medium tires. We'll do a big stint here on 8 laps, try and get the knowledge in. Although, medium tyres, if it does rain, as much as it says it might do, the mediums might not be very useful. We might be using ultras and then inters there, but just obviously playing caution to the wind here with 8 laps here and go out. Also, by the way, if it sounds like my voice a little bit funny, it's because I've got a cold right now, and it is pissing me off as much as it sounds like it is, really, in terms of trying to talk with a blocked nose. So, yeah, just to put that out there if you're wondering and going to comment that below why I sound a little bit funny or under the weather, it's because I am, again, for like the 3rd time in about 2 months. Right, I got level 2 then on the race trim and the medium's going to bring them in and switch over to the ultras and quali trim, really, because I don't think there's enough time here. It's a long track, 133. Obviously, the feedback levels, these guys haven't improved massively since the end of last season in terms of feedback levels, so nothing's going to really change in terms of the rate at which they gain that knowledge here. 93% on the setup. That's pretty decent, actually, to start off with. Just need to tweak the handling a little bit here with Carlos Sainz, and we could be golden, and hopefully the same with Lando Norris, but we'll switch over to the ultras and the quali trim now. Alright, we've got level 2 now on the quali. I'm going to move it over and stay on the ultras, but I'm going to get onto the race trim here and try and get level 3 in race trim if we can. I think there might be just enough time. We've got 2 excellence now and a good, so handling still not quite there with Carlos Sainz, but we'll move this over to race trim. 8 laps, well, we'll stay on this set of ultras basically, but this final bit and tweak here on the handling, that's good, so somewhere in the middle must be excellent then, I would say, so somewhere like that. And then for Lando Norris, a 95%, pretty decent, I would say. I don't really know where to go with that. Maybe a little bit of a tweak again, just going as low as we can, the downforce maybe, same with the speed balance potentially, just 1 click there and trying to bring that back into the fray. Hopefully that doesn't bounce off the excellent there. We'll go on to race trim 4 laps and ultras again, send out, and hopefully just get this last level 3 here. We've got just over 2.5 minutes to go. I think at this rate, I think we'll just about get level 3, you know, in ultras and race trim, which will be good if it does rain. I kind of hope it does now. If we have the knowledge in ultras, that'll be useful for us. Practice has ended, and that is so unlucky. It's such bad timing. Oh my god, we're literally like 3 seconds away from getting level 3. Alas, we don't. We have level 2 only on the Ultra and the race trim, as well as quali and mediums. And if it wasn't for maybe 1 extra tweak on the setup, I might have been able to get that. So that's really unfortunate. But our car is looking pretty quick, although Verstappen there in the Ferrari set his time on medium. So let's just watch out for that when we actually get to quali here. But interesting times then. Interesting times. Alright, take your qualifying then. Q1 should be pretty straightforward, so well, we've got enough ultras to burn, potentially. Maybe I want to save some for the race as well, though, so I'll see if we can get through on super soft tyres. We should be able to with the pace our car's got. I can't remember, I don't think Australia's got the crucial on the engine side of things, but our car looked pretty quick in practice there, so let's hope we can get through on the supers. And you can see here, as we go through, it's actually going to start raining here, so we might not even finish the lap properly here, as it's soaking now, so everyone's going to go into inters. May as well bring them in. There's no point going keeping out here. So it's soaking here in Australia, but there will be time at the end to set another time, so I think we'll just wait till the end there. But I completely just missed that. Didn't even see the forecast, didn't bother to even check. But here we go then. The times come in. And you've got a few people out of place, obviously, because of the whole weather situation. But here we go, then, coming through. It's going to be all dry once more. Track grip is going to go up and up and up as we come through. So we'll send them out at the death of it and try and get this lap in. Right, I'm going to send them out now. Another set of supers should do it, but I'm not going to risk it. Going to go ultras. Don't want to risk it because we get caught out. That's going to be a massive pants pull down. So here we go. Right, Sainz begins his lap there. It's an okay out lap for Lando Norris as well as he begins his lap. Let's move through to Sainz once again ahead of a Red Bull, holding him up a little bit. Here we go then. Let's see. Fittipaldi sets the fastest. Then Vettel as we come through there. What are we doing? 2 greens. 4 tenths off. This will be across the line and is P3 for us there. Decent stuff. A little bit off the pace though from Vettel. Across line for Norris. So you can see they're both very well matched, it would seem, right now at this point of the season. But as we come through, qualifying has ended then. And look how close Hamilton was to the dropout. Last year's world champion nearly knocked out there by 2 tenths out of Q1. He makes it through though. The surprise outings are Ricciardo and the other Mercedes though. So one of the Mercedes is out in Q1. That's massive. And Gasly and the Red Bull also out. So 2 people fall from the top teams there. Interesting. Alright, Q2 time. Here we go now. Onto a set of ultras again. Let's actually quickly check the weather. Looks like track grip will go up. So actually, you know, we'll wait a little bit. Wait till the end of the session to set the time. Because track grip obviously is very low right now. As we had a bit of a green track with the rain. And as we go through this session, the track grip is going to steadily go up and not kind of be a bit fluky and glitchy here as it has been in the past a little bit here. So yeah, we'll just wait. There's no point rushing really, as obviously with the rain there, it really is a massive difference of track grip. It's not like it's already halfway there to full. It's kind of, you know, right, you can see there from the very start of the session, the lowest point ever to the highest here at the end of the session. So we'll wait till the last, 3 minutes. Let's go out now. Go to another set of ultras. Fresh set, of course, because that's the set we'll start the race on tomorrow if it does start off dry. And let's get through into the top 12 shootout, please. But we've got some interesting names here now in the top 12 potentially also. You know, like the Fittipaldi there. Got Ocon in the Renault as well. Lotra in the, I think Lotra's in the Audi, I think. The Audi doing pretty damn well there. And Alonso's actually made it through in Alpine Racing. So Alpine Racing have made some improvements there. The fantasy team. Obviously, that's the fantasy part of this fantasy mod, of this F1 mod we've got on the game. Alonso makes it through there, along with Markelov in that Alpine Racing fake team. But we come through then. Sainz in P4 and Norris P4 then as well. So both of them switching sides, but I'm liking this. The car seems pretty balanced there. Yes, Sainz has a better engine, Norris has a better gearbox, and it all kind of balances out there quite nicely. But the car looks good. It looks like we can definitely beat Red Bull for sure again, which wasn't the case last season at the start of the season. So we definitely have made a step up this season. Not maybe the one we wanted to fully, to be right close with Ferrari and Mercedes, but we'll get there. I'm confident we will get there by the end of the season. Hopefully even before that, you know, halfway through I'm hoping we get there if we try and develop the car as quick as we can. But through into Q3, no issues. Top 10 shootout. Let's try and pull out a surprise out of the bag if we can. And it is raining now in Q3. Interesting times, but will it stop raining later on? I don't know. But right now, send them out on inters. Fresh set. It's not raining as hard right now, so potentially the better time to go out now rather than later when it's raining more. But I don't know if it'll dry out at the end. I don't think so. So I think we will qualify on inters. So this will be a complete spanner in the works in terms of if our car is going to be any good in the wet. Let's hope so this new season as we come through there. We're focusing on Norris. We'll focus on Sainz because he's the first car up the road as we go through then. But you've got the likes of Raikkonen and Fittipaldi in this session. Lotra also made it through then. So that's pretty nice to see. But here we go then. Carlos Sainz. Let's see. It's a 132. Norris 3 tenths off there, or nearly 4 tenths nearly. Raikkonen way off the pace there. So that's good news for us. But Hamilton comes through, does beat us. Probably not really that surprising, but he's only 3 tenths ahead, so that's pretty good. It is going to get dry right at the end, you know, though. So there might be half a chance to set another time on dry tyres. And a load of people, Ocon, Fittipaldi, Vettel, they've all set timers on ultras anyway, which is very odd. But to come through here, right at the death though, you can see it is dry right there at the end. So let's go. Last minute send out here. Going to send out Norris first. We've got 132, so we need about 230, yeah, 228. That's probably the latest. And send them out. Right, ultras, send out, Sainz, ultras, go. And it is dry now as we go through on the outlap there. So let's see what we can do. Hamilton is also on his outlap though, so he's had the same idea as we had though. So it's all going to be kicking off. I think everyone is going to move up and down this order. Right now though, we're P2 ahead of Verstappen and P4 with Norris ahead of Raikkonen and Vettel down in P9. His new team at Verstappen doing the job. He's in P3 though. Checker flag's fallen. Hamilton sets purple. We set purple second sector with Sainz. We're held up a little bit though by one of the Audis, I think that is. Hamilton goes faster for pole position. Norris gets up into P2. Sainz! Oh my God! Carlos Sainz has just bagged pole position in the first race of the season for the 2021 F1 season. Australian Grand Prix. What a man! What a man! He's done it. 7/10 faster than his teammate. Initially, Norris pipped Sainz for P2. It was 2-3 for McLaren there. I thought, okay, Norris improved. Maybe Carlos Sainz will improve enough to maybe go back to P2. But he's done it. He's got the move done over Hamilton and has got pole. Verstappen P4. Vettel way down in P9. The other Ferrari there. It's all been quite bonkers with that wet to dry session. And we've got pole. Absolutely bonkers start to the season. Get in there. Amazing. Right, so in terms of the race, right now I've got Ultra selected. I don't know, though. There's no rain. It seems like there might be a little bit, you know, that faded last one. I might even try and get in on the picture. I think that's a little bit of rain coming on the way there. I think there's a little bit of rain. So I'm going to go Ultras and go aggressive on this. That's going to be lap 16. How long do these tyres go? I hope a little bit longer. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually. That's not bad. So 2 sets of Ultras, and then the rain comes. I think that's the plan and the hope, and that's what we're going to go with. But we are P1 and P3. What an amazing start. That's exactly what I wanted. Some rain in the mix. Mixes up Q3, and Sainz came through. He's a wet weather pro, of course, so the damp circuit, you know, a bit of a green circuit maybe, just came to him there. Norris did quite well as well, though, to be up into P3. That's also a really fantastic job. So let's try and see. I don't think we'll get the win, to be honest, but let's try and aim for the double podium. That would be quite amazing. The 2-3, that would be really good, but you never know. If the rain comes down and plays a part in it again, then we could come through with some luck. So let's just see how this goes. The first race of 2021. Here we go then, Season 2 of the F1 2020 McLaren Manager career mode begins here at the Australian Grand Prix. 5 red lights from pole position, and we're underway, and it's a great start there by Lando Norris as well, and so we lead a 1-2 for McLaren into turn 1. Raikkonen up into P3, Vettel's up into P4, so he's had a stonking start there in the Ferrari from P9, that was, I think, up into P4. Hamilton's had a mare down to P9, so they swap positions basically. Raikkonen now side by side with Vettel, but Vettel up to P3, so Vettel, although he bottled it in Q3, done a mega job at the start of this Grand Prix. Verstappen's bottled it. He's down to P13. Hamilton is P6, so he's recovering. But Verstappen, really not a good start there, even though he outqualified his teammate Vettel. He's been the one that's had an issue at the start of this Grand Prix. But here we go then. 1-2 for McLaren there. Looking good right now. We continue to push, of course, at this early stage of the GP and just see how long we can go right now. But Vettel sets fast at the Grand Prix, so he's charging us. So that Ferrari is going to become knocking. I thought Hamilton would be the one that would ruin our party straight away, but it looks like it might be Vettel first. But Hamilton will also come back at us, I think, eventually. So I think we're going to have a tough time getting the double podium. Might be more of just a P3, P4, but even that might be a challenge because I would expect the likes of Verstappen to come back through eventually. And even Ricciardo, P13, remember, the Mercedes car that was knocked out in Q1, he should come back through the grid eventually, so I don't know, but for now we'll just keep going like this. Now the tyres are a little bit cooked, so let's go neutral and let's go high and see how this goes right now. Of course, Sainz has that fuel-saving perk, so he's going to save fuel a bit faster than Norris, and Norris under pressure from Vettel as well, but for now keeps him at bay. Is he going to also match us for the tyre? Yes, he is. But we're going to continue to push the fuel a bit longer than he will. But let's see how this goes then. We need to get to about lap 9, I would say. Lap 9, I think, would be kind of nice. Maybe lap 8 or 7 if we need to be a bit more aggressive than that. But right now, we're keeping Vettel at bay here, as you can clearly see on your screen in P2. That Ferrari red comes closer, but just can't quite get us there. And Sainz is doing a fabulous job extending the gap slowly but surely. 4.9 to 5 seconds now, and now we've got worn tyres for Lando Norris, so let's watch out for this. Track grip is going up, but we're about halfway through now this stint. So I'd say here, maybe let's go ugly early, as Richard Hammond would say. And oh, Ricciardo has retired with a mechanical issue there. So the Mercedes man, he came back through to P7. He did a fantastic job up into P7 there to recover. But he's gone. Verstappen's going to pit this lap. I am not with Norris. Going to pit it on the next lap. Go pushing very hard now this next lap there and come in after this. Right, let's go. Let's pit in now for another set of Ultras. Park conditions fine. Pit strategy going to go with fast. Let's go. And Carlos Sainz will go a little bit longer here. Going to go on low fuel with him, actually, and go overtake mode and really try and use this gap we've got with him to try and extend this as best we can here. Right, Norris has made his pit stop. He's out. Vettel did not make his pit stop then, so let's push out here on this outlap here and make the most of it. Meanwhile, Sainz saving fuel but pushing. Now we're going to go on to a set of ultras. Fast pit stop. How's that in-lap been for him? He's been 2/10 slower. That's because of the fuel probably, so that's no issue for me really. So he's done a good job from the lead there. Let's see though where Norris is in comparison to Vettel, but Sainz makes that pit stop. Does Vettel also come in? I think he did. No mistake there for Sainz, and he's out in P2 as Hamilton did not make a pit stop, and Norris remains in net P2. He's P3 right now, but it's obviously net P2 because Hamilton's yet to pit, and he's actually gained a gap there to Vettel, so that's good as well. So we're going to conserve. We're going to low fuel for both drivers because we need to desperately save fuel. But let's just watch out for this then, and hopefully just cruise through to the Inters period. But we've gained a 3-second gap to Vettel. That will come down though quite quickly, as you can clearly see there, because we're on low fuel compared to him being on overtake mode there briefly. But this is all for the greater cause of later on in the Grand Prix. We need to save this fuel now rather than later, I think. Right, Vettel's come knocking, so we're going to go medium now, and maybe pushing as well on the tyres. Use the tyres to counteract the fact we're trying to save fuel here. But look at that, Sainz already on plus fuel, so that's his perk coming in real nice there, real good. So he can just relax here at this tyre temperature and just cruise. But Norris here under pressure from Vettel and still minus 0.8, quite a long way off having positive fuel here, unfortunately. Right, lap 15, the rain started to come down a little bit earlier than I actually thought it would do. So we're going to go full out attack then, go low fuel though, save even more fuel. Both going to come in though on this lap on Inters. Going to have to double stack them, but I think that should be fine. Right, double stack, pit in, Inters, double stack. Just want to double check we put Inters on for Sainz. Cool. How's the park condition looking? It's a little bit iffy on the gearbox there, the suspension. Same for... Actually, Norris's car is looking a little bit better than Sainz's, actually, so that's a little bit of a worry then. Our race leader's the one that has issues with his car, maybe, later on, but as they come through here, hopefully this double stack works out pretty nicely. Right, Sainz is in. It's going to be a quick old pit stop, mate. Right, in. Good. Yes, just about made that, I think. And no mistakes on the pit stops. And we're still 1-2. But Vettel, again. No, not even Vettel. Hamilton now is the one close. So now, interesting. Vettel and Hamilton now chasing us down. We're still on lower fuel because I'm trying to save fuel here really badly with these guys. This will allow Sainz, though, to get away. He's got +7. So I'll use this part of the race to try and get Sainz away. This is the only chance I think we can get the race when it's trying to get Sainz building a gap to P2, basically, to pull away. Meanwhile, with Norris, just trying to save fuel, hold these guys up, basically, as long as we can. Okay, lap 19, we've got gearbox issues. Shifting to 3 feels clunky. Continue, 21%. We have to wait, mate. We're going to have to wait. Just nurse this right now. Nurse this issue. Actually, push on, though, but nurse it, sort of. But we're going to have to make this pit stop and change the gearbox in the pit stop, unfortunately. Hopefully, other people have issues. Does Hamilton have kind of a mechanical issue? No. Vettel does not either. Great. Now we've finally got some fuel to play around with Norris, and we actually kept P2, but this is iffy now. This is iffy. Right, we've got 14% in the gearbox now, so sooner or later this gearbox will go, but we need to get through 9 laps to go. I think this is now time to make a pit stop with Sainz. Change this gearbox now rather than later. Fixed part. How much is that going to add on? Oh, 15 seconds. Are you kidding me? This is it. This is the race win gone for us, I think. But unfortunately, there's no other way I can do it. I need to change this gearbox. Fix it. Fast pit stop. Tyre choice. New set of Inters. Right, go for it, mate. Low fuel. Push in. Gonna have to make this pit stop now. Meanwhile, with Norris, let's push on now for a few laps and try and build something. And, well, Norris will inherit the lead here. So, Norris might be the one that wins the race, ironically. Even though all the entire time, Sainz to look the better man for it. But here we go. Gearbox change. So slow. Here we go. Changes it. He's still in P4, to be fair. So, that's pretty good, actually. So, let's push on and let's see what we can do. But Norris pushing as well as we try and extend the gap to Hamilton and try and do anything to keep him in P1. Oh my, well, that's great, isn't there? There's a spin for us. Fittipaldi spun. That slowed Norris right down there. Blue flags. We've got a 25-second gap, though. Somehow Sainz has made that pit stop, and he's come out. He's still ahead of Hamilton and Vettel. I don't know how that's happened. I don't know how. Someone explained to me. I don't know. I missed it when that happened, but okay. We're going to pit in now for Norris. Inters. Park condition. Well, they're all pretty iffy, aren't they? But we're going to have to... I don't know, do I change this just in case? That'll be only 7 seconds, you know. I think we should change that just in case, but the gearbox will still be an issue, but that's one less issue for us to worry about, maybe. So let's pit in and worry about that later. So we come in now from first. We've got a massive gap, though, so let's see about this. Right, come in, and Norris... repairing the suspension, comes through, and he comes out in 3rd place behind Hamilton. So Hamilton's jumped us. We've got another issue now. Our suspension is iffy with Carlos Sainz, so that's not great. So that's something to worry about. But for Norris and now his other parts are okay. Everything's breaking on his car as well. Okay, we probably should have changed everything for Lando Norris there, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Right, we've only got 5 laps to go, though. So come on, just limp through to the end. Please, Sainz, please. 5 laps to go. He's surely got to be able to limp through. I mean, we're going to conserve, though, because the tyre temps were quite high, and Hamilton's right there, and Hamilton has no issues, apparently. No, he has apparently no mechanical issues, whereas we do, and we're not looking pretty quick right now, and Hamilton is, so this may be the lead gone away. We've been leading the entire race now. This is going to be so annoying, but there goes Hamilton around that. So can we push back here, please? Keep it going, mate. Keep it going just a little bit longer. Norris, what are you saying? Your car is literally going to break at some point. You're still ahead of Vettel somehow, though, and saving fuel all the while whilst doing it. But Sainz, P1, 0.2 seconds. Keep it going, mate. Lap 27. Keep it going. Push on a little bit. Come on, push. Keeps it ahead. Gain 1 second there. We gain 1 second. That's good. Is Hamilton backing off? No, he's not. Now he's going full out attack. But we're still there in first place. Suspension is low now. Oh, my God. 7% there. Right, look at this car. For Norris, for Sainz. We've got 2 laps to go. Keep it going, mate. Keep it going. Right, 2 laps to go. Going to go full out attack there. May as well chuck the kitchen sink at it. Almost said chicken there for some reason. Chuck the kitchen sink at it and see what we can do. Norris has been overtaken by Vettel, so he's down to P4. But we'll just try and push on the end here. But Sainz, somehow, on 7% suspension, might just do this, you know. It's the final lap of the Grand Prix. Go overtake mode. Let's push on here, and you might just get first place with such broken suspension. Here we go. 7% suspension. And we're 2.8 seconds ahead of Hamilton. Here we go. Coming through. It's 7%. And we're going to do it through the final corner. Carlos Sainz will come through for the pole to win the Australian Grand Prix. Who would have thought it? Not me. Not me at all. Absolutely amazing stuff there. Hamilton P2. Vettel P3. Norris down to P4 in the end. But what a drive there from Carlos Sainz. 7% of the suspension arms as well. That was majorly iffy there. But somehow we've come through to get the pole and the win at a soaking wet Australian Grand Prix. That's what happens. The race opener of a season with some rain, reliability issues flying about. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Absolutely amazing dream start to the season for Carlos Sainz, and a pretty decent one for Norris as well, I would say. So Sainz got pole. I didn't even remember that we actually gained 2 extra points for qualifying in pole, because there's now points for pole position in this season, so that's great for us. Vettel got fast out of the Grand Prix, so fair play, but we get 27 instead of 25 for Sainz. That's really amazing. So there we go, first place, the first trophy. I did not think that was going to happen, but there you go. We are first place in the championship as well. There's a long way to go, but that's a mega start. Gearbox also built for us now as well, that brand new one, so that will be in for Carlos Sainz as well, so his car will only get better. But what a mega start to the season. Obviously, Dubai next time out is going to be a big challenge. That's a tough race in general on this game. But yeah, the rain helped us out massively. That definitely did help out the strategy-wise in terms of able to pull that aggressive strategy off. But yeah, best possible start, I think, for Sainz. Obviously, like I said, still solid for Norris as well. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're not around here, do subscribe for weekly full-on content. I've been aarava. Hope you enjoyed today. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.